And we are live. Welcome everyone. This is your host Abraham L. Jaguar. I will do a sound check in a few moments. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Detri Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay what you want tabletop RPG where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website. The link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. A moment, please, while I check the sound. The sound is good. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products and check out their Micro Red category of games. They are ready to play tabletop RPGs with their settings and a streamlined version of the Red system. Definitely check it out. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. Today, we are continuing the Triangle Strategy campaign. All right. Mm-mm-mm. We have reached a critical moment in the game. Our dear friend Roland, he is up to no good. He is perfectly fine with the Rosellan being enslaved and with religion taking over the world. We have to stop him, no matter the cost. First, we're going to the encampment to see if there are some training missions available to level up our characters. Nope. Okay, so we're going straight to this meeting with Roland. I wonder if we'll have to unalive our dear friend. And he's so tragic because Roland, he is one of my best uh, combatants, and he has been with us from the start. He is like the brother of He is literally the brother of Serenoa. They both, um, they have the same father. So once again, House Wolford stands before three diverging paths. The time has come to lay their convictions bare before the scales and make their greatest decision yet. Oh, this is going to be painful. The story is approaching a turning point. It is recommended that you save your current progress. Proceed to save screen. I already saved. Are you sure you wish to proceed? Yes.
You are certain Hyzan's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
For those of you that do not know, we have found a salt mine. We are discovering salt all over the place. And the Church of Hyzant, of the goddess, they have been lying to people, just like in real life, science fiction. They tell us that the resources are limited, but no, they are all over the place, but they are keeping them hidden, so that way they have control over the salt. They can sell the salt at the highest prices.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Hyzant is very powerful, and we are considering allying ourselves with our enemy, with our current enemy, Ace Frost, to take on Hyzant. But Ace Frost, like, they are diabolical. Gustadolf is pure evil.
Esfrost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
It's a choice of evils.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
But I do think, even though it annoys me so much, I think it is necessary for us to ally ourselves with Ace Frost, because Hyzant, like, this is the moment, the key, the crucial moment to take down Hyzant once and for all.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
So if we can get into the war, and put Ace Frost in the positions, in the battlefield situations where they get devastated, the better, because that way we can take them down after the war with Hyacinth is over.
There's no need to prepare for war.
No, there is, Roland. I will stop you.
I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzant.
No, you fucker. No, we're not going to do that. No.
What?
Over my dead body, Roland.
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings.
You want to go? You want us to go back to the Middle Ages, you fucker? Didn't you learn?
There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals.
Wow.
Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
Roland, I challenge you to Mortal Kombat. I am also of the blood of kings.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzant's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already?
Exactly.
Is the suffering of the Rosal not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
Yeah, just like socialism. No, we love socialism, YouTube. This is science fiction. There are some people that are more equal than others that start to take over. And the leaders of socialism in science fiction, they're always the richest.
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzant's goddess free reign of Norzelia.
Roland, I am also of RH negative bloodline. I challenge you to Mortal Kombat.
Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike.
Wow, what a piece of shit. Roland, what happened to you? You're perfectly fine with enslaving the Rosellan and giving control over to some sort of idol.
A small price to pay in my eyes.
No,
In exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
we're not sacrificing a few people for that.
And the sacrifice of the Rosal, is that a small price to you?
Piece of shit. Roland,
It
what the
is.
fuck? It is. No.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
Yeah, I'm on the side of my betrothed.
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Esfrost and strike back at Hyzant.
Even Benedict, even like cold calculating Benedict. This is wrong. This is the bad ending. No way, Roland.
The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Roland has just proven that he is not fit to be king.
Ally with Esfrost?
Mm-hmm.
You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
Ah, but you're perfectly fine when they start unaliving Frederica's people.
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
Yeah, no, Roland, you're not fit to be king.
I cannot believe my own ears.
But he was perfectly fine with, oh yeah, let's enslave the Rosel.
I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
No, but imagine all of those men, all of the Rosel men that died working under the harshest conditions. You are perfectly fine with those fathers dying and leaving their families without a father, which is the perfect practice for the government, science fiction, to without father figures. Men and women grow up so immature and so weak without that masculine quality, that severity, that strength, that aggression.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances.
No, Frederica, it's just Roland.
It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're
That is
told to
true.
believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt.
That is true.
And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Yeah, fucking, it's always for comfort. You know, when a certain madness occurred a few years back, a certain health madness, and they started to convince people of doing something, right?
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
They made that decision based on their comfort. If you don't do that, you don't have a job anymore. And they're like, oh, no, no, please, please. You can always find another job. But your decision concerning yourself. I cannot say more, you know, YouTube is pretty shitty about this. But let's say, you have one life to live. But you have plenty of opportunities to find work. It's not easy,
I've heard that before.
but it's there.
Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
All else is in disarray. If Hyzant seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people.
We are freeing them right now, don't worry.
We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
But the Rosellan that we free could actually join us. It's going to be adding to our forces. So it looks like we have 3 choices. You either go the retard route, the handicapped route, and you choose to ally with Roland. You choose to ally with Roland and you become puppets for the fucking idol, the religion. And you keep on enslaving the Rosellan. Benedict's route is forgetting about... No, but Benedict's route also makes sense because that is, you ally yourself with Ace Frost, you defeat Hyzant, and so the Rosellan are freed. So there is no conflict. Let's see what they give us as options.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk.
Okay, I see what's the problem here, but it makes no sense because Frederica wants us to free her people. And Benedict thinks that we are going to be spending time on that, right? We're going to be losing resources, people, whatever. But if we join with Ace Frost and defeat Hyzant, then we can also free the Rosellan. This game, that is a flaw of this game. You basically, it would be 2 choices. You either ally with the Ace Frost or you ally with Hyzant.
Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzant will rain down upon us?
With the help from the Rosellan people, that's her reasoning.
Frost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
I get the feeling that if we choose to, like, as they put it here, and like I said, this is a flaw of this game. You only have 2 choices, but they made it 3. But if we ally ourselves with Ace Frost and defeat Hyzant, problem solved. But I'm guessing that if we choose that route, my betrothed Frederica is going to leave me. Because she's dead set on focusing completely on the Rosellan. And the Rosellan are not particularly battle ready.
There is another way.
What?
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Wait a minute, Centralia. The legendary land of Centralia. Tartaria.
Centralia is a myth.
Now, Benedict, now you're being super foolish. The location of the salt mines was also a myth, and it was proven to be true. It's true. We found the salt deposits. So Centralia, because it is within the lore of the Rosellan, that is not a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
They proved that. They helped us discover the salt.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolfort domain.
Well, the Wolfort domain is still under attack constantly, so...
Silence!
Yes or no, you tell them. Shut up!
I have heard enough to know where each of you stand. Do you all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. But know that a choice must be made. There can only be one way forward. Face the scales of conviction and prepare to make peace with the outcome.
Oh, crap. The vote we take today may well open a rift between us. Nevertheless, it must proceed, and I am prepared to accept its outcome. Okay, this is going to be super difficult. Let's save in file 3. The 3 choices. The worst choice, the terrible choice would be to ally with Roland and accept to be dominated by the church, just like in the Middle Ages, just like in the Dark Ages. The other choice would be to ally with Benedict. That is, to side with Benedict. We would basically ally with Ace Frost. And even if we ally ourselves with Ace Frost and we defeat Hyacinth, Ace Frost could backstab us and then they would reign supreme potentially. The other choice is to go with Frederica to find this mysterious ancient land of Centralia and see if we have some sort of advantage. Why do we have those 2 people here? To think King Roland, Lady Frederica, and Sir Benedict's convictions would diverge so greatly after all this time. Just between you and me, Lord Serenoa, what do you make of their plans? I believe that Benedict plans to use Ace Frost's ideals for freedom to ascend to the top of all Norzelia. I think Roland intends to put his personal feelings aside to bring peace, no? And equality for everyone, no? Frederica's wish is a human one. She desires to liberate those who have been cruelly oppressed. We need an advantage. It's the choice of siding with Frederica, the best choice, because this is going to keep on happening over and over. This is triangle strategy. We have 3 powers. 1 power or 2 powers devour the other, and then the remaining powers fight between them, and then 1 power rules supreme, and you still have the 3 powers because they are not completely eliminated, and so forth it goes. It's a never-ending triangular cycle. So the best choice would be to go and find Centralia, because it could give us the advantage. Frederica's wish is a human one. She desires to liberate those who have been cruelly oppressed. Aye, but in reality, humans usually only act in their own best interest, even if it means turning a blind eye to the suffering of others. Lady Frederica is a strong woman to stand up for what is right. I couldn't agree more. Ignoring their plight now would be shameful, especially knowing what we do of their innocent. Everyone's choices are deeply rooted in their convictions. It makes me wonder if they'll be able to abide by the scale decision. Lord Serenoa, it will fall to you to lead everyone down the right path. Of course, I wish for all of us to walk astride the same path as we always have. That's the sadness about human nature. Most people, the NPCs, the majority of people, are always going to be acting in their own behalf. If you ever notice like some very shitty behavior on part of anyone, they are usually afraid, terrified of something. Like, let's say, for example, you made an arrangement with someone to meet up for whatever, or that person is going to email you, is going to contact you, they're going to meet up at whatever place, and that person suits you up or doesn't contact you, ghosts you, or whatever. They are afraid of something. They are afraid of making a connection. They are afraid that perhaps if it's a man or a woman and it's a romantic situation, they are afraid that you are not the right choice and that they could do better. If it's a job or profession related thing, they think that they could gain profit somewhere else. So they are always afraid. Most people are cowards. They are always afraid of making a choice and leaving greater profit aside. But there are exceptions, and you have seen me. You have seen me in my videos, always warning people about so many things, about politics, about religion, about health, science fiction YouTube, and a lot of people tell me, "Are you nuts?" They're going to think that you're crazy because you're always like using logic. It's crazy to use logic, right? But I say I don't care. I don't care if my channel doesn't grow. I don't care if I lose popularity. This is not a popularity contest. This is about doing what is right for the whole of the species. And that's why I really, 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 really dislike famous people, especially famous YouTubers. Do you know why? Because they had the chance, multiple chances, to warn people about so many impending things. About this political idiot, about the president, whatever, this prime minister, this health situation, this religion. And they didn't do squat because it would affect their popularity. They don't care if people end up unaliving. They want subscribers, they want money. If they end up dying down the line, well, okay, there's always someone else to replace them, right? I hate them all with all of my heart. The science fiction YouTube, but I wish them the worst. And I have the utmost respect for those that, like I said, they have their channels, pretty big channels, and they still try to warn people about so many bad things. They have my utmost respect. Lord Serenoa, I cannot help but feel that our greatest battle lies ahead, regardless of which path you choose. I know that this may not be the best time to say so, but my wife gave birth to our first child not a few days ago. Let's see, you are a father before a soldier. It is your duty to protect your own house before that of Wolford. No, but he's part of Wolford. That is, we are all, at least in theory, like a big happy family. We must protect each other. I will not force you to march with us. I ask only that you act according to your own convictions. That's a good choice. Let's see. We must pull together if we are to emerge victorious. I ask that you see us through this final battle. In choice 1 and choice 3, we are forcing the guy. Choice 2. I will not force you to march with us. I ask only that you act according to your own convictions. Because we don't want a weakling or a coward that is in the middle of the battlefield and suddenly decides to bail, to run away. Because, oh, no, this is too dangerous. No, I want people with conviction that go. Because they are brave enough. Might I have time to think about it, my lord? But of course, the path before me diverges as well. And I must also take time to think before making a decision. Let us both choose a path that leaves us with no regrets. Thank you, Lord Serenoa. It is an honor to call you my lord. Yeah, it's pretty common that in current times they are pushing away the true geniuses, the bright people, because they're always looking out for the best course of action for the species, but they're usually not popular. They want you to side with this political party or leaning. They want you to side with religion, with this cult. They want you to side with this corporation. No. The human species, that's all that matters. I thought they were going to allow me to ask for the opinions of people in town, but I guess not. Save again. No. Okay. Centralia it is. We are moving to Centralia. First, let me speak with Frederica.
Serenoa.
Only we can free the Roselle and expose the lie that has kept them in bondage these many years. However, we must move quickly while their gaze is fixed upon the salt crystals. I believe we can succeed. We must move quickly while their gaze is fixed upon the salt crystals. I hear your plea, yet I cannot help but wonder if you wish to act with too much haste.
But...
I know not what I can do to prove to you that I have thought this through. I swear to you, this is no bit of pick. And that's another very important thing. Frederica is Serenoa's wife. Are you giving priority to fucking cults, to fucking religions, to fucking governments, to fucking corporations, to fucking political ideologies before your own family? Think about that. So many families have been torn apart because one of the members was married to a political agenda, to a religious agenda, to whatever, a corporate agenda, rather than their own families. Or if we go deeper, were they married to fear itself rather than their own families? Benedict's stratagem may also provide the chance to strike at Hyacinth. Would that not be enough? It also prolongs this war, and thus the immense suffering of my people. But war is still prolonged, that is, you cannot like hasten things. Even if we start the fight to liberate the Rosellan, it could take a while. Even if we do prevail, you know as well as I that my brother is not a merciful man, He'll not spare so much as a thought for the weak. That much is true. The Rosel's plight would then be buried once more amid negotiations between the nations. Do you see? The time is now, and only we have the power to save them. Now, what makes me a bit nervous, and that would be a great failure of this game, is that because I didn't visit the Rosel with Frederica in the previous choice, I fear that they may end up invalidating my choice now. And even if you side with Frederica, you get the bad ending. Hopefully not. Power we forfeit if we assent to Roland's plan. That is true.
I have decided.
His is the one vision for our future that I cannot abide. That is correct. Perhaps my concerns seem narrow when all Norcelia is at stake, but I know you can save my brothers and sisters. I beg you consider it. Frederica's resolve is steadfast. Your words have no power here. We will have to side with Frederica. First, let's go with the other best girl, Anna. Anna is a bit of an opportunist. I'm a bit worried.
Lord Serenoa.
Benedict and King Roland would march us to war. Benedict and... Frederica would see Hyacinth hunt us for all eternity. Perhaps her vision is not so different. So it's come to this: ally with a one-time opponent or flee with the Roselle. So Frederica's choice basically is liberate the Roselle and find a new kingdom. It would be like abandoning Wolford. But if Centralia does exist, what powers lie hidden in there? What sorcery could give us the advantage? I'm not one for fleeing.
However,
Bold proposals, all. Our tactics must be flawless. But I am curious about the power of Centralia. We are sticking to our love, Frederica. And the promise of greater power in Centralia. So you assent to Frederica's vision for the future. War is coming, a war for all Norzelia, and you would forfeit your role in it. No, not at all. We are winning this war. That's why we are placing our bets on Centralia, to see if we can have that advantage. There is no better time to free the Roselle than now, while Acefrost and Hyacinth squabble over the salt crystals. This is how we end the war. Hyacinth will crumble once we free the Roselle. I wonder if the Death Snell and Elfric are unleashed on the battlefield, the casualties will eclipse any war that's to come before. That is true. They have two very powerful weapons, and we have no powerful weapon. Ace Frost has the Death Snell. The Hyacinth has the Elfric, and we have no special weapon. We are at a complete disadvantage. We need to find that weapon in Centralia. There is no better time to free the Roselle than now, because Anna is a pragmatist. Anna is not going to be following like wishful thinking. There is no better time to free the Roselle than now, while Ice Frost and Hyacinth squabble over the salt crystals. No. This is how we end the war. Hyacinth will crumble once we free the Roselle. That is true. Would that sway Anna to our cause? Anna is not about casualties. Like, Anna is she's an assassin. She has seen so much death. But this is how we end the war.
No.
I simply cannot agree. Fuck! It will throw Hyacinth into chaos, but only briefly. They will stop at nothing to restore order and maintain the authority of their beloved goddess. You forget there are those who question her authority already. Do you not think they would seize the opportunity and revolt?
But
Possibly, but that is a slight hope in the face of an enemy so powerful as Hyacinth. They stifled a rebellion 30 years ago. Now they move to take the salt crystals and the mines in which they were found for themselves. If I may speak plainly, my lord, your strategy is too fanciful. I urge you to ground it in reality if you wish to collapse the holy state. Can we speak to Anna again? I appreciate your candor as ever. I ask you for a moment alone with my thoughts. Well, we're going to reload if no one else agrees. Erador, my friend!
Aye, lad.
Our sweat and blood fed this land, built it into a proper domain. I see no reason why we should surrender it all to Hyacinth. And Lady Frederica, while I sympathize, asks that we risk everything for the sake of the Roselle.
Here's what I think.
Benedict's got the right of it, I reckon, but even that doesn't quite quiet the nagging feeling I get every time I think about our options. Frederica, how could you possibly support Lady Frederica's vision? Have you gone mad? I wish to carry on, nay, surpass my father's legacy of protecting the Roselle. I need you with me, Erador. The war will never end so long as we hold the salt crystals. We must relinquish them and break the cycle of violence. No, that's not a good choice. Protecting the Roselle. They give you like very bad choices to speak. And the Anna was out of line. Like, she suddenly became like, oh no. The war will never end so long as we hold the salt crystals. We must relinquish them and break the cycle of violence. That is true. We must release the salt crystals. The salt is a source of a lot of the trouble, yes, but there's precious little we can do about it.
Consider this.
Anyone in Norcelia would tell you the same. I am well aware of our situation, Erador, but I tire of fighting. We cannot go on like this. I beg you, join me in finding another way forward.
And further.
Give precious little idea how much I sympathize, and I want to help ye. But Lady Frederica's vision is... It's all fantasy, my lord, and a foolhardy one at that. Ye can beg till you're blue in the face. I doubt you'll win much support. Now, this is not... They are not giving us the right choice. We're going to reload. A good thing I saved it. Let's speak quickly with these guys again. Blah blah blah. I think Frederica's blah blah blah. And then we talk to this guard. I will not force you to march with us. I cannot help but feel that House Wolford's greatest battle lies ahead regardless of which path you choose. And this guy says something else as well. I am almost terrified to find out which way the scales will tip. I pray House Wolford makes the right decision. Let's see. Benedict. No, yeah, I already spoke to... Well, let's speak to Frederica again.
Cyrano. But
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to
okay. Because that was out of line with Anna.
Lord Saranoa.
I don't think she would have responded that. Yes, I know. Choice.
However,
Stand with Frederica. There is no better time to free the Roselle than now, but why? Like she said, but why? If the Death Knell and Elfric are unleashed on the battlefield, the casualties will eclipse any war that's come before.
perhaps.
The Death Knell and Elfric, the casualties will be immense. Wow, Anna actually does care about people. What would you? Who would have thought? Who would have guessed? I had not considered that they might be unleashed simultaneously. The stakes warrant it, whether they are complete or not. We have already shown them the way by using Elfric in battle. Precisely, they will undoubtedly both be employed.
Then,
Unprecedented destruction is all that awaits us here. A war with whose victor will rule over a pile of ash. And I will not be party to such devastation. I can think of far more productive uses for such power. I see your reasoning. I confess I thought only in terms of battles past. So much so that I forgot avoiding battle was ever an option. Excellent. Now Erador. We have secured Anna's support. And now Erador.
Aye, lad.
Well, Erador only has
Here's
two
what I-
choices. The father. I wish to carry on, nay, surpass my father's legacy of protecting the Roselle. I need you with me, Erador. Outdo your own father. Meaning what exactly? Do more for the Roselle, and he did? I know things aren't what they were during the Salt Iron War, but is it not House Wolford's duty to come to the aid of those in need? Are we not to fight injustice and the tyranny, wheresoever it may be? Ye dare invoke Lord Simon's own words. I cannot do this alone, Erador. The risk is too great. Only if all House Wolford unites as one will we have a chance to succeed. I hear ye, lad.
And so,
Just give me a moment to sit with what Jip said. Well, we have to save because he's not going to give us any other choices. Let's go file 4. Okay. Now we need to talk to... Oh no, Huguette is going to be the... She's in love with Roland. We are leaving her for last.
What do you need?
Each path before us demands a great sacrifice in exchange for a great reward. I am sure King Roland, Benedict, and Frederica have agonized over their proposals.
Well,
So now, must we agonize over our own decision? I wish to place my faith in Frederica's vision. I must say I'm surprised by your support for Frederica's vision. Why? I've been by her side for years, but even I must admit it is rather hopeful. I'm being charitable. Perhaps you see something I do not. Norcelia will be forever plagued by war. I wish to leave this place and create a new nation that knows only peace. No, that is super idealistic. My father has defended the Roselle all these years, and I intend to carry on his legacy. In truth, I agree with you. Her plan is imprudent and ill-advised. I cannot say that about Frederica. She thinks that there is a chance with Norcelia. This is super idealistic. A new nation that knows only peace. There will never be peace. There will always be war. But make sure that you fight against the true menace, right? Not fight among ourselves. between our lands, like they want us to do. There are lands beyond the official maps that do not appear on the official maps. There is actually a land between in science fiction Europe, between science fiction Europe and science fiction America. There is actually a land, a huge piece of land. And as I understand it, between Asia and America to the between those science fiction places. Okay, and that's where the true threats come from. That's why they don't care about our lands. My father has defended the Roselle all these years, and I intend to carry on his legacy. Or should we say this? In truth, I agree with you. Her plan is imprudent and ill-advised. To see if we can get her to side with us. My father has defended the Roselle. But if we try to get her through this, in truth, I agree with you. Her plan is imprudent and ill-advised. No, no, no. My father has defended the Roselle all these years, and I intend to carry on his legacy.
I don't think so.
A very noble sentiment, my lord. I don't think so. Albeit one that would be better served by protecting your own domain first and foremost. How would he feel if you saved the Roselle at the expense of the house? I have not to say in response. Perhaps I cannot match what father accomplished.
What do you need?
It is nothing to do with you and everything to do with the circumstances in which you find yourself. That is incorrect, because if we find an advantage in Centralia, we are also protecting everyone, not just Wolford, but the entire world. You must see the world as it is not as it once was. Well, it's up to Huguet. It's going to be a tough one.
However,
Here we stand after a bitter fight to reclaim the crown city, only for the king to speak of forsaking it. Huguet, are you on our side? As his subject, it is my duty to follow his decree, and yet, my lord, the choice before us feels immense. I am utterly adrift. Huguet, listen to me. Pray tell me how you see the proposals from King Roland and the others. I need your guidance. Frederica's vision. You've taken Frederica's side in all this? What fascination do the Roselle hold for you, my lord? Frederica has shown me a future in which no one is beholden to salt, or indeed to any nation. There is no better time to free the Roselle than now, while Icefrost and Hyacinth squabble over the salt crystals. No, Frederica has shown me a future in which no one is beholden to salt, or indeed to any nation. So if the choice is to ally with the duchy, who prize might over all else, or submit to the holy state, who prey upon the weak,
but...
You mean to suggest we simply do neither? Exactly. Precisely, she has shown me the Rosellan legends are true. Exactly, that means there is hope for all of us. A hope I would bet my life upon. So long as we sit between two nations who've no compassion for the weak, I fear we will never know peace.
Furthermore,
I take your point. War will spread and perhaps only end when the Death's Knell and Alfric are unleashed upon the continent. So you see why I would choose to flee with the weak rather than be party to the atrocities of the powerful. It will be a flight amid a hail of arrows and steel, but so righteous and noble that I would be proud to give my life for it. You've stated your case well, my lord. Yes, because who wishes to keep on living when you lose your soul? This, as it stands, this is not eternal. Existence will always be, but the shapes within existence, nations, people, etc., they eventually end unless major change occurs. Okay, we have this.
Serenoa.
Only we can free the Roselle and expose the lie that has kept them in bondage these many years. However, we must move quickly while their gaze is fixed upon the salt crystals. I believe we can succeed. I hear your plea, yet I cannot help but wonder if you wish to act. Oh, that's the same. She's repeating the dialogue. We already know that. Let's speak to Roland, to the idiot, the only idiot. The only idiot here is Roland.
Serenoa.
We must give Hyacinth the salt crystals, cow Ace Frost, and unite all Norzelia in the name of the goddess. Else, we will never know peace. The Roselle will continue to suffer. It's true, but this will end war as we know it now because the Roselle are still at war, a war that they can never win. And countless more will live in peace as equals.
I have made my decision.
I will see this done, not just for the people of Glenbrook, but for all of Norzelia. Roland, you are the king. Surely cooperation with Hyacinth need not mean the forfeit of the kingdom.
I think not.
That is where you are wrong, my friend. My time on the throne has shown me that the people need a force more powerful than any king to show them the way now. They need a strong king, and you have been a fucking weakling, Roland. There are many paths that lead us out of war, Roland. Cooperating with Ace Frost, for instance. End the war by allying with the very Archduke who set this in motion? No. Cooperating with that tyrant ends nothing. Roland is he only cares about avenging his father and his brother. His avarice has brought only pain and suffering to this land.
Moreover,
if anyone understood the torturous path I've taken to arrive at this decision, I thought it would be you, Serenoa. Speak to Benedict.
My lord.
We share a common goal with Ace Frost at the moment. It is incumbent upon us to seize that opportunity and rid Norzelia of Hyacinth for good. Indeed, the salt crystals make an alliance with Ace Frost possible, but Roland would never assent to it. He feels the weight of the crown, underestimates his own abilities, and has allowed his hatred for Gustadolf to cloud his judgment. I sympathize, but those matters should have no bearing on the welfare of our house. Perhaps you are right, but then what of Frederica's vision? Do you concede that her plan concerns our house?
Quite impossible.
I concede nothing, for her strategy is out of the question. Benedict is missing an opportunity. If Centralia exists, it could be the only way to break this stalemate, this Mexican standoff. And I'm a Mexican, I know what I'm talking about. We have a Mexican standoff, 3 powers, each one pointing guns at the other powers. There is only one way to break a Mexican standoff, to have an advantage over the other 2. She asks us to forfeit all we have fought to build in this domain. How can I reasonably entertain such a proposition? And you'll brook no argument otherwise. None.
We must decide.
May I remind you that you are Lord of House Wolford. Your duty is to your people above all else. But our people can join the Roselle. That is the Roselle and the Wolford people can join together as one.
I believe I've reached
This moment requires a dispassionate mind. I pray you have one. This is not about passion, and this is about logic. The war will continue, and we are at a complete disadvantage. We need that to take that chance, that gamble. It is the only choice. Here we go. End persuasion and commence voting. Yes.
It is time to cast our votes. The opinions before us are many. Roland's, Frederica's, Benedict's. Which to choose? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I would have challenged Roland for the throne immediately. I hope I still have that chance. And Benedict, he's supposed to be serving me.
You aren't wrong, but...
My apologies, Lord Serenoa, but I must place my token elsewhere. We don't care, we have 3 supporters. We don't care.
You have my vote.
I put my faith in you, Lord Serenoa. Best girl, Anna. As usual.
I have faith in you.
I've decided that this is what's best for both King Roland and us all. Yes, Huguet? Now he got his best girl as well.
I'm with you.
My mind's all made up. You've got my vote, lad. We've done it.
The scales of conviction
The
will
scales of
illuminate the path
conviction
we've
will
chosen.
illuminate the path we've chosen. Ah ha ha! Yeah, Roland, your plan sucked so much.
The way forward is decided. Frederica's dream is worth realizing.
Mm-hmm.
We will free the Roselle from the source.
If griefs could passions move completed. And Roland is just going to accept it like that, even though he's king of Glenbrook. Let's save the game. It's going to be file 5. 5, the number of humanity. And the number of Mars. 5 senses, 5 fingers, 5
A
limbs, head,
tumultuous meeting
arms, legs.
exposes a yawning chasm between Roland, Frederica, and Benedict's visions for the future.
And what about Serenoa's vision for the future? They never asked me.
Yet only one will emerge victorious, for such is the custom of House Wolford. As ever, the scales of conviction have the final word.
And this makes a bit of this makes no sense because Roland is the king of Glenbrook, and yet he's still subjected to the scales of conviction from a minor house.
The time has come for judgments to be rendered and leaders to steel themselves for the outcome.
One last request. Oh no, we're going to have to fight Roland.
We've chosen our path.
Come on, Roland, let's go. Fight me.
We are to free the Roselle being held in Hyzant's source.
Benedict, you're an old man. You have no way.
You have
contesting
chosen
me.
the one path I cannot take.
Then go away.
I understand your disappointment, Benedict, but the scales have spoken.
And you work for me, Benedict. Fuck you.
And so I ask for your wisdom. Help us find a way to free the Roselle.
Let's see if we can convince him.
Hyzant will destroy everything you hold dear if you attempt to free them.
That is not yet certain.
That way lies ruin.
Benedict, you have fallen into a logical fallacy. You are counting as if allying with the Ice Frost, becoming allies of the Ice Frost, is going to give us absolute victory, and that is not so. Ice Frost is conniving, deceitful, cunning. We're going to end up in a disadvantageous position if we ally ourselves with them. It's still a better choice than Roland's stupidity, but it still holds true. He's abdicating.
Your
wants to fight.
choice is to turn your back on this house, to cast aside your land and the people who have built their lives upon it.
No, not at all, because from the very start, my father was protecting the Roselle. And this is not abandoning the house. We are looking for a better kingdom. We're taking all of our people.
I will not, I cannot endorse such betrayal.
Oh, we need to fight Benedict. Old man, you die
I
here.
agree that we will be ill-prepared to defend the domain this way.
But if we find an advantage in Centralia,
Should that come to pass, I am prepared to flee with the Roselle and search for Centralia.
Centralia, exactly.
They say it is home to a boundless salted sea.
Mm-hmm.
Surely a land where none need fight for salt is a land worth seeking. This is an opportunity, Benedict. We could find a new home instead of fighting the wars of old yet again.
Exactly, it's going to be a never-ending cycle. We need to fight different wars.
Why not channel that resolve to lead the people of Norzelia as their king?
Yes, but you mean like challenging Roland, right? But we still have to free the Roselle. Let's see, Benedict. Are you being reasonable for once?
You hold the power and the might. You lack only the will.
Oh, he's setting us up against Roland. The fight is on.
With the salt crystals in hand, you shall ascend the throne. I shall see to it that you are coronated.
What would you do if they named you Pope? Like, well, it would be like nonsensical, right? I would destroy religion. I would dissolve it. I would give my speech, and I would tell everyone, like, there is no need for religion. This is all a lie. And I would tell them the contradictions about God. You know, the ones that I am always saying. If God is all powerful, why did He need 6 days to create? So they told us create the world. Why did He need a day of rest? An all powerful God does not need a day of rest. Does not need 6 days to create something. If He's all powerful, why does He need angels and demons and floods to kill people? An all powerful being would do it in an instant. If God is good, why did He kill all of the members of the family of Hob and tortured Hob to see if he was loyal to Him? An all-knowing God would know that already, and a merciful God would never do that. It's all bullcrap. That's what I would do, Nero. I would destroy religion. You'd be allowed that, but you have to wear the Pope hat. Yes, because that way I would remove it in public. Like I would have the hat, I would remove it, I would spit on it, and I would throw it to the people. I would throw it. You know, standing on the balcony, I would throw it. I would do that 100%. There has been a pope that was removed from the records. The science fiction YouTube, his name I think was Adriatus or Adrianus or something. And he actually, when he became pope, he started to give the money of the church to everyone. And he most likely got unalived because he is no longer appearing in the records. So yes, that would be like the only sensible choice if you were to make Pope. If you wish to keep on the charade, you would be corrupt like the other religious people, the other Christians. Science fiction.
Then we can liberate the Roselle, or whatever else your heart desires.
That is true. And that's also what some people criticized of demagogues, such as like Barg. They started to tell him, hey, you want to be like the Pope of paganism. You want people to go to you as the source of the pagans. And you're basically dictating. You have no proof that what you say is correct, no logic. You want people to just trust me, bro. Trust me and my wife's dreams. My wife's dreams. They're all the same. Every single demagogue, every single celeb, every single priest, every single so-called scientist like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye or whatever the fuck his name is. Science fiction YouTube. They're always manipulating people. And even, did you know, as a pagan, Barg is my pope? Did you know that this guy... And yeah, but yeah, no. As long as you belong to any religion, you're not free. You're always under the whims, something that someone else dictates. You're always all religious people. It's science fiction YouTube, but all religious people are automatically simps, and that is not the true way of a strong man. Did you know that a certain Gates fellow, through a corporation that is funded by him, has just gotten approval to coat in science fiction fruits and vegetables with a dubious substance? You know, this science fiction YouTube, this is not true. We're talking about the game. So yeah, the cycle goes on until people can free themselves from those demagogues.
Liberate the Roselle or whatever else. I never dreamed I would hear such callous words fall from your lips.
That is true. Benedict, whatever else, like whatever, right? You can knock yourself out. You can create a circus or whatever.
I stand by them. I care only that you and the legacy of House Wolford are safe and secure.
He is obsessed with House Wolford. Benedict is blind to everything else. He is obsessed with this house.
I shall offer my counsel by force, if needed.
A shame we are in the Bill, yeah, timeline. Wish we were in the Gary. No, no timeline. No, no, no. Mr. A. Hey, I heard people mentioning Barg on the internet and I jumped in. Yeah, I was just telling Nero that you should never fall under the subjugation of any religious people, religious fool. Neither the Pope, neither Barg, neither the YouTube is not going to tell me to let me allow me this, right? Neither the priests of the chosen people, let's call them that. You know, the chosen people that I am not allowed to mention in YouTube. And no cult, no religion. Stand free on your own, with your own ideals. So Benedict is going to fight us. But he's an old man, he's so weak.
Fight the lad.
Benedict, you're going to lose. You're so old and weak. Anna!
Stand down, Benedict.
Yes, Anna! Best girl, Anna, my personal assassin.
No, Anna.
Well, yeah, of course, I would fight the old man because I am Serenoa. I flee no enemy. Well, I flee no enemy outside of battlefield tactics, but in duels, when the duel is necessary, of course.
This is a challenge that I must accept.
But I am touched by Anna because Benedict was supposed to be Anna's like a father figure, and she still sided with me. Yes, Benedict. Draw, Benedict. Let's fight, old man.
I beg you to reconsider.
It's your
You mean
funeral.
to proceed with this folly.
Folly, Benedict? I am practically a winner already. You're a fucking old man.
Then you will do so over my dead body.
And you're not like in the top, how you say, top condition to fight me.
You can do so much more, Lord Serenoa. The salt crystals give you the upper hand.
And that's why we are going to find Centralia, where there are tons and tons of salt crystals. Benedict, you are blind, and it pains me to eliminate you.
Esfrost and Hyzant would bend the knee to you. You could unite all Norzelia under your rule.
But it would mean allying with Esfrost. The wars would continue. If we free the Norcel and go and look for Centralia, it's like looking for the Lost Kingdom, some lost archaeological site of Tartaria. Or someplace... Yeah, we're doing it, Benedict.
You were right about me, Benedict. I lack the will.
Uh-huh.
I have no desire to rule Norzelia. I wish to see an oppressed people set free and nothing more.
We're choosing freedom.
At what cost? Would you see your loyal subjects conquered by another nation?
No, we're still protecting them. We're all going to go to look for Norzelia. We're in the middle of shitfest. We're getting attacked by all sides, and those weapons, the Death Nail and the Calfric, those two weapons of war are going to devastate our lands.
I would forfeit my lordship. The people of Wolfort will endure without me.
No, we want to take them as well, sir. No, you're not making a good case.
The Roselle have no such champion for their cause. We are the only ones who can set them free.
Give me the order, and I shall reduce Hyzant to rubble. Then they shall be free.
The ensuing battle will only breed further resentment, or worse, displace others who will be treated like the Roselle.
And I still think that liberating the Roselle is still going to cripple Hyzant. They will have no slaves. They're going to crumble. They're a bunch of fat asses that want others to work for them. We take away the Rosellan slaves. We rescue them. We liberate them. And then Hyzant ends up crippled. Then Aecfrost attacks Hyzant. And while Aecfrost attacks Hyzant, we attack Aecfrost from behind.
War cannot solve everything.
Triangle strategy.
Our liberation of the Roselle shall prove as much.
So, you now take blind counsel from your betrothed. To think that an arranged marriage will lead to this folly.
Wow, fuck you, Benedict. What the fucking is wrong with you? Wow.
Enough! I came to this conclusion of my own free will.
Benedict. Benedict is very conniving. He wants to rule from the shadows.
I have seen the challenges that face Norzelia, and this is how I choose to respond.
Oh no, here we go.
You are every inch Lady Destra's child. Your compassion steers you headlong into every conflict.
Some conflicts have to happen.
Alas, compassion is easily trampled.
Yes, Benedict, I can trample my own compassion by defeating you right now.
It can only exist so long as it has an army at its back.
The Rosellan can be our army if we go to Centralia and we find all of that bounty. And who knows what else? Perhaps even powerful sorcery. We can have an edge, a victory over this battlefield.
My patience grows thin, Lord Serenoa.
What?
The salt crystals give you the power to bring peace to Norzelia.
But it's always going to be the same thing. As soon as now I have the salt crystal and somebody else. No, I shall be the one taking the salt crystal. Why do we have to make resources so limited when there is an entire bounty? That's why they killed Tesla in science fiction and many other geniuses. They killed them. In fact, let me show you. If you were the mayor of a fantasy village, would you allow cousins to marry each other? What about second and third cousins? That is a very good question. Yeah, I would, but it would be like the least favorable. Like I would make sure that they attempt to marry someone else first. Like look for someone else. But if you can't find someone, at least cousins, because you are somewhat distant, I would still allow it. Because you would be even more compatible, genetically speaking. But I think still it is much better to find someone outside of your family. Because they could have some genetic benefits that you lack, that you do not. But if there is no other choice, definitely cousins. I will allow it, definitely. But let me show you this very interesting thing. Just to show you how, the extent as to how these people, these tyrants, science fiction, try to keep us all in the dark. Let's go to the Mente Abierta channel. You know that in Africa, the science fiction YouTube, in Africa, there isn't exactly like an abundance of high IQ, right? Science fiction. No, this is not true. YouTube is science fiction, right? But every now and then, and at least I know at least another case. Every now and then, there is a genius that appears and comes up with incredible inventions. You now see before you Simon Petrus. Let's see, Nero speaks. Some say third cousin is optimal, but I think I wouldn't go for a cousin or second cousin, but third is okay. Yeah, that would be like a last resort situation, like Nero. Right, Nero? I mean, like the worst possible outcome. Put it like that. Simon Petrus. In science fiction, this man, without like the best schooling, he designed this machine that allows you to use in science fiction cell phones. This is basically a big cell phone without the need of a card, a cell phone. What do they call it in English? Is this the same, the SIM card? That is, he, without payment plans, without anything, you know the number of someone, you can call that person with this machine. You can also watch TV. You can get a signal without any sort of payment plan, whatnot. Watch the various channels. It also works. It works like it's like a supercomputer with the most primitive recycled materials. Guess what happened to Simon? He disappeared. His invention, his blueprints, nowhere to be found. I wonder who made Simon disappear. Mr. A. Nero, do you have any guesses? as to who made this young man disappear. Look at him. Very different. Take a look at his skull. These two protrusions right here. His head is not like an oval head. He has two protrusions, and I bet that if you look at the back of his head, he has a math bomb. Bark, no. Probably, right? Probably, yeah, he went. Bark was the culprit. The chosen goblins make him disappear. Exactly, the chosen goblins. Exactly. So yeah, the goblins don't like this sort of people. And here disproves the thing about the bark that's saying that a certain color of skin makes you inferior. No, I can tell you right now that at least when it comes to technology, this man is more intelligent than me in technology, in technological matters. But in other matters, he was too naive, probably. He thought that the establishment would reward him. Look at him receiving his medal, probably at a school. And that's what he became the target, and now he's gone, and we have no idea how to make this machine. Yeah. So sad, right? So very tragic. Let's continue. Here we go, Benedict. We'll have to fight.
You're wrong. It is little more than the catalyst for another protracted war.
A war we can win. Let me lead you to victory.
But Benedict, you want to ally with Ace Frost. And you want to make the crystals like a limited resource.
There is always a war to be won. Do you not see the cycle at work? I will break that cycle and use my power to liberate the oppressed.
Exactly. Did you know what actually Barg said, that no one is inferior or superior? But he was bullshitting. He was trying to appear nice. Exactly, because maybe you didn't, you were not here when I shared this experience with everyone, Mr. A. But Barg, one time we were talking, and he said, he let it slip. The people of a certain color, they are always taking like the wrong choices, right? And I told him, but I know, Barg, I know people that are white and blue-eyed, that are evil. They are pure evil, Barg. They are the worst. And then he said, oh, that's because they were corrupted. And fuck, he exposed himself. Because this means that people of a darker color, they are evil. At their essence, they are evil, according to Barg. But if they are blue-eyed and blonde and white-skinned, no, they are good and they were corrupted. Fucking Barg. Fucking man-boob, sack of lard, mummified, piece of shit, bald, idiotic, autistic Barg. He exposes himself so easily against the 3 IQ people.
You talk of fleeing from your duty, of pure fantasy.
No, it was proven that the Norsellian legends, the Rosellian legends are true. We found the crystal mines thanks to those legends.
We need you, Benedict. Why can you not put our differences aside?
Oh no, we're going to fight Benedict.
This is absurd. You race toward your own destruction, and I will not be party to it.
Then you were not loyal to House Wolford, because I am the scion of House Wolford. If you're loyal to House Wolford, then you need to be loyal to me. That Curse of the Dark Skin is actually a hook-nosed take from the from the book, from the Bible, yeah, the science fiction YouTube. Because I have seen the worst and the best in both colors. We cannot be divided. That is, we don't need to be forced to mix with one another, but we can work in cooperation. We can still exist in good cities. We can marry people that are compatible with us, structurally speaking. And just putting the color aside once and for all, that's a phenotype. In my family, I have people that have darker skin on the you would rather say redskin. We have redskins because we married with various people here in Mexico. Those that came from Spain and even Scotland, because we were structurally compatible. This is a sci-fi podcast now. We are now entering the sci-fi section of the podcast. But just as long as you are structurally compatible, let's say the cheekbones, the jaw, the ears. If your ears are over here instead of low set, then look for someone with high set ears. If you have low set ears, look for someone with low set ears. Look for the bumps here and here, the math bump as well. And then don't worry about the phenotype. Don't worry about blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes. Don't worry about blonde hair, black hair. Look for the structure. And even more importantly, identify if your mate, if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're a man, if you're a woman, identify that your mate is of RH negative if you're RH negative, or RH positive if you are RH positive. And there you go. Perfect compatibility.
Lord Simon entrusted me with the future of this house. And I swore an oath to Lady Destra that I would protect you no matter what the cost.
And don't believe those lies that, what? I swore an oath to Lady Destra that I would protect you even if you kill me, what? Don't believe those lies that, oh, if you marry someone of a different color, your blue eyes disappear. In my family, we have people with blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes. We have red-headed people, we have blonde people, we have black-haired people. That is all bullshit. You're not going to disappear, okay? As long as you are structurally, genetically compatible. Well, some of them are. It's all about the genetic compatibility, not the phenotypes. Our friend Snowy is a beautiful Finnish man, but he is dating an Australian Aboriginal. What would your advice to him be about Aboriginal? As long as I will have to look at, that is my opinion, right? My opinion. I would look at their pictures and see if they are compatible enough in the shape of their head. Like I said, the cheekbones, the ears, the jaw, and based on that, if they look like that, even if she's like brown skinned, Finnish and Avo cheekbones compatible. I don't know, because you could have like a Finnish person with different cheekbones from another Finnish person, from different genetic lines. So it's not like all Mexicans are the same or all Canadians are the same. You have various populations mixed together. So you have to look within those populations for the most compatible person. So yeah, in the case of Snowy, even if she's dating like a dark-skinned individual, if she has the same features, then I would say go for it. If she looks completely different, like maybe he has the like a chin, protruding chin, and her chin is completely receded.
You are shackled to the past, Benedict.
That is true.
I would call it loyalty.
No, it's not loyalty, Benedict. You're like a religious person. It's dogma and doctrine. You're not listening to the present, to the now, to the logic of the current situation.
And it has come to this. For the sake of our future, I must strike you down.
Yeah, I was actually, in a previous episode, I was actually saying they should eliminate. I would eliminate Benedict because he had some questionable choices.
Prepare yourself.
Ha! I don't know. I'm worried about Snowy. His family built castles and railroads. Her family got high on petrol. Yeah, I would advise him that is, if you are within that, how you say, if you're at freedom of speaking such things with Snowy, I would tell him, take a look at your girlfriend or whatever, and think if she kinda looks like you. Maybe Snowy's family can invest in gas station in the outback. Yeah. As long as they are genetically compatible. As long as there is genetic compatibility, It should be okay.
You came, you missed.
What? Hey, fucking old man. Here you die. Here you die.
You came,
Whoa.
you missed.
Hey, he's putting up a fight. Hog dive. We finish this with the hog dive. There we go.
I yield. Grant me the mercy of a swift death.
Should I kill Benedict? Should I unalive him? Excuse me, you do. Because what if he wants to betray me later on? Her skull is very, very pointy. Should I go for it? If you have like a square-shaped skull, like if you have these protrusions here and here, and her skull is like an oval, my personal recommendation, that's just me, you can do whatever you want. I would say no. Your skulls need to be similarly shaped. But that's just my take. It's science fiction, YouTube. We are all compatible, right? According to YouTube, we are all compatible. But no, in my personal opinion, if the skull is different, I wouldn't go for it. But that's just me, Snowy. It's all about freedom.
No.
Mercy from Serenoa. He looks exactly like Sam Lake, Max Payne. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, no. I would say there is no compatibility there. But that's just my take, Snowy. Don't let people on the internet dictate such things, right? We are only here. What happens if they're all different shape? There could be complications in childbirth. You know, all those. Oh, the child was aborted. Science fiction YouTube. No, I'm just speculating YouTube. This is not true. This is not. This is not medical advice. This is science fiction. So in a science fiction world, this science fiction world, if they are of different shapes, there are problems in childbirth. They are born with chronic problems, autism potentially. In science fiction, this is not true at all. YouTube, no, we trust the doctors. We trust them. Don't listen. I am just making things up, right? I'm just lying. It's like a fantasy situation. So there could be various situations, and definitely verify if you are RH positive and she is RH negative. I would advise against it. Because of the shape of her skull, I doubt she is RH negative. She's probably RH positive. I have yet to find someone with a pointy or oval shaped head that is RH negative. They always RH negatives are almost always have like the more like square shaped head. Even Barg mentioned this skull shape versus childbirth problem, but Barg was very idiotic. Do you know what? Because he said, "Don't marry Africans because we Neanderthals, we are so big, so we are too big for their hips and they cannot birth us." Have you seen the hips of the black ladies? Have you seen those hips? They are huge. It's not about that.
Neither father nor mother would stand for the killing of a loyal retainer.
So Benedict is staying with us. I hope he doesn't stab me in the back.
The rest of us shall make our way to Hyzant in secret. You will remain here.
Someone actually... Let's see, what if she is RH negative but very autistic? Like she likes trains and Gundams. No, that is not autistic. You can like trains and Gundams. She listens to Burzum. I would recommend a certain substance, right, Nero? Let me type that substance down. But this is like no, this is not true. YouTube, this is a science fiction speculation. Let me go get the keyboard for my other monitor. It's down here. And then she's a keeper. I would always recommend if someone has that if someone has autism in science fiction, I will always recommend this video game. This is a video game. This is nothing else. The video game is called Cahoots. Only the capital letters count. Cahoots. Cahoots dribble. Sorry. Only the capital letters. Yeah. The video game is called Cahoots Dribble Sorcery. You see the three capital letters? Those three capital letters? I would recommend that. Just in case someone needs more information about that, let me enlarge myself a bit. Because there is a link that I would like to share with you. Now, where is that channel? Oh, that's the difficult thing about these channels in Odyssey. It's not as user friendly as YouTube, but here in Odyssey there is almost complete freedom. Here it is. Nice. Nice. Is this the official? Yes, it is. This is the official. Okay. Let me copy this link. We go to the stream. Nice. Where is it? Okay. Let me write this first. This is a sci-fi link. This is a sci-fi link. This is a sci-fi link. It's a science fiction channel. There we go. Sci-fi. Okay. So if anyone needs more information to finally deal with the science fiction, you know that YouTube, you know that in science fiction there is a certain autism, but it's not real. If someone is dealing with that condition, definitely look into that. Science fiction, of course. It's not true.
Lead the people out of the Wolfort domain before the Byzantine army assaults this castle, and keep them safe.
Because we know that in that sci-fi condition, that is caused because due to a certain pathogen, a certain parasite, that condition, science fiction. And that's what keeps you dumb. Because autists, you know that for many things, they are not particularly like the brightest chips in the block, right? But yeah, look into that. Science fiction. No, they're actually geniuses. Like they tell us in the movies, they are geniuses. Exactly, that's what I was saying. Lead the people out of the Wolford domain.
These are your orders, in exchange for sparing my life?
Aha. And be loyal once in your life.
These are not orders, and there is no exchange to be made.
You're always talking about House Wolford, this and that, but you're not loyal to me.
This is the last thing I will ever ask of you as my steward and loyal friend of House Wolfort.
And so, you follow in the footsteps of Lord Simon and Lady Destra.
Aha. I lost 40 IQ since they cured my autism. I cannot cast sorcery anymore, yeah. Yeah, that is true, because if you are cured... no, YouTube, we love that condition. If you are treated... if you change, you can no longer imagine the sorcery, right? You need to smoke some dried placenta.
leaving me behind with
He
the
recovers
most
mana.
arduous tasks.
You need a placenta potion.
I shall rise to the occasion, my lord.
I no longer trust
I
Benedict.
shall do whatever is required to see that the Wolfort name and its people survive.
Really, Benedict? I hope so, because I have my eyes. I have my eyes on you, Benedict. Anna, always spy on Benedict. Watch over what Benedict is doing, and if he steps out of line, Anna, unalive him. You have my permission.
Should House Wolfort lose its lord, I shall lead the house forward in your stead.
Aye, what? He's already planning to take my place. Anna, unalive him now. Unalive him now. I don't trust him. I'm still very touched that Anna took my side. I didn't expect that at all. Incredible.
I have no doubt you will.
And Roland, he's the king, and he's still like, huh? What is going on? Do I have a say? Benedict left the party. Well, I didn't use him that much, to be perfectly frank. And Medina was kind of like Benedict. Because the greatest thing about Benedict was using the Swift ability. I forget the name. And she allowed a character to take another turn immediately. So that was pretty much Benedict's action as well.
Mule-headed fool.
Yeah, he is a fool.
We've each made our choices. Now we must walk the path we believe is right.
Yes.
Yes.
King Roland, this decision means casting Glenbrook aside.
Exactly, King Roland.
I know I cannot ask you to come with me, but will you agree to see to the salt crystals?
No. I am sorry, my friend. But I am not worthy to oversee such an important task.
What?
Of course you are. You have always striven to be fair and just.
Is is Roland also going to abandon us?
You hold me much too high in regard. Our conversation earlier made me realize the truth. My faith was misguided, as were my actions.
Roland, are you going to make me king?
I believed exacting vengeance upon Esfrost would be proof enough I was Glenbrook's rightful king. But I gave no thought to the bloody cost of revenge.
Roland, I am so proud of you. Are you?
This kingdom and its subjects should not have to suffer such a selfish fool upon the throne.
Oh, fuck. Roland, I did not expect this.
Then, you will come with me?
I shall. Not as your king, but as your friend.
Ah,
If I
no,
can
he's
help
not
those
making
in
me
need,
king. Fuck you,
that
Roland.
is enough. Glenbrook has the geographical advantage, and the salt crystals. And there are a small handful of trustworthy nobles remaining.
Well, no problem. I will become king of Norzelia. I mean Norzelia of Centralia. No problem.
I'm certain they will ensure the people thrive, even without a king. Glenbrook is in too powerful a position for foreign powers to interfere.
Roland.
You know you aren't leaving me behind. I've come this far by your side. I'm not abandoning you now.
Oh, great. We are keeping a lot of them. We only had to sacrifice Benedict. And Benedict, like I said, he wasn't like the most useful character. Medina
You have my thanks,
can
Hewitt.
fill that gap.
Frederica, don't you think you ought to make your convictions clear to your companions?
What? She's in love with Roland or what? Gila, that's... Ah, no, Frederica. Okay. I thought she was talking about Huguet.
Well, it's common knowledge by now that I'm an Asfrosti of Rosellan descent. I was a lonely child who hated that her hair was a different color from everyone else.
Barg, she probably watched Barg's channel. You know, because in one of his retarded videos, Barg said that if you were red-headed, you came from Africa. He was very salty because the first depiction of Thor was red-headed. So Barg, does that mean that Thor, Thunar, comes from Africa?
But then I joined House Wolford. I met Jerome and witnessed the cruelty that my fellow Roselle suffered at the source.
You cannot make this up. Hmm.
And I learned how brave my mother was, how long and hard she fought for her people's freedom. Compared to the horrors they went through, I have lived a life of privilege and comfort. I am proud to be a Rosellan, and proud to be a Wolford. I wish to be strong, strong like my lady mother before me. And I wish to see her dream of freeing our people fulfilled.
He actually did say that redheads are Egyptians, yeah. The thing that retarded Barg did not want other people to know is that because we all belong to the Empire of Tartaria in the past in science fiction, we were all over the place. We were all over, and that most redheads have brown eyes. No! They have blue eyes, fuck! You can go to Scotland and the Basque region, and there are so many redheads with blue eyes. Wow! You know what happened with Barg? He ended up in prison for so long that he did not adjust to people having access to more places. That is, in his black metal days, he got used to tricking others because, like, the internet didn't exist as it is today. There was not as many travel opportunities as they are now. So he just told a bunch of people this and that, and they had no way of verifying things, and they were like, oh yeah, must be true. So when he came out of prison, he was like trapped in a different time, and he doesn't realize that we can verify all of his bullshit immediately. We can see if he's lying or not. And just by, like, once again looking at my family, my ancestors on my mother's side of the family, they were redheaded and blue-eyed. Fuck.
I understand the difficulties that lie ahead, but hope that I might have you all with me.
And just in the present, many of my cousins, they're like four of my female cousins, they have red hair and either blue or green eyes. So I'm telling you.
We will always be there beside you, Frederica.
My lord, Hyzant's army has sent a message ahead of their forces.
Oh.
It says, the Grand Norzalian mines must be conferred to the goddess as a divine offering.
They wish.
An offering? Sounds more like an ultimatum.
Uh-huh.
Precisely. If we refuse to relinquish the mines, they'll put the Wolford domain to the sword.
Then we've no time to waste. We must make ready to leave at once.
Yes.
Benedict.
I leave the rest in your hands, Anna.
Does Barg believe in the flat earth? No. That's another telltale sign that he's paid. He made the most retarded arguments. He basically said that you should always trust what is being shown on the news. He said, but look at the video footage. And look, the earth is round. Just look at the screen. If that is so, Barg, if that is so, why are they using wires and green screen, Barg? Do you know what vanishing points are, Barg? Do you know in art? You know, maybe Neanderthals don't understand art. But when it comes to perspective, you have vanishing points. The lines, the invisible lines that give perspective, make it appear so that they will eventually meet at a point. And if you look at the sun's rays in science fiction, you will see that they fall at an angle. An angle. And if you follow that angle, you eventually get to the sun. That means the sun is super close in science fiction. It is not who knows how many thousands of miles. And for those that are watching this video and are not familiar about this, compare the number that is the speed of light with the coordinates of the Giza pyramid. It's the same number, the same number. And why is that? Because some fat ass that was too lazy, they told him, hey, you must come up with a number for the speed of light. And he was so lazy, he took the number from the Pyramid of Giza, from the coordinates of the Pyramids of Giza, and used it as the speed of light number. So if you follow the sun rays, they will take you to the exact position of the sun. That is pretty close. And it's also illogical, right? The sun, sometimes the sun is so hot. You literally feel the heat of the sun. And yet, oh, if you go into outer space, science fiction, you will freeze because it is so cold there in outer space. No. Why? Why the ice in space isn't melted by the sun then? You know why it's so cold in some mountains in the world in science fiction? Do you know why it's so cold, so snowy up there? Because some of those mountains are too far away from the sun. The sun is, in science fiction, is making an ellipsis trajectory, and those mountains are actually above. They don't want you to know this. Oh no, it's in the horizon, look, it's sinking. It's so cold up there because it starts to get too far away from the heat of the sun. You cannot, people have stopped using logic for so long.
All these years I have watched you. I may not be able to replace you, but I will do my best.
And if you saw the video, the final experiment, it's here in YouTube. I'm going to put the link. So that you can see how they go to great expenses, to great expenses to keep up the charade. This video was supposed to prove that the sun, that the Earth was spinning around the sun in science fiction. Let me give it to you. It's here in the Eric Dubai's channel. Eric Dubai, where is the video? Here it is, the final experiment. Oh, fuck. The ads, telling you, the ads are terrible. Okay, let's go to the stream. Where is the video? And we share this link. Science fiction video, the final experiment. Take a look at all of the Hollywood studio materials that they use to keep on the fakery. The stream. Now going back. All right. What's that banner behind you? Is it your waifu? Yes, it looks like my waifu. It's I hate that the Japanese sometimes they use male names as female names. And since she's supposed to be Raiden from Genshin Impact, I don't play that game. I don't install Genshin Impact because, as I understand it, it is the science fiction YouTube spyware from the east. Let's call it the spyware from the east. But she, Raiden, she looks super cute, and she has this power over thunder. So I thought, oh, that's super hot. That is, I wish you had a real woman, not like a real woman that wields the power of lightning and thunder, but that essence, that spirit, it's very inspirational for me. Let's see, talking about Snowy, one time we discussed this, and he told me that as a mathematician, he believes more in a donut realm. There are simulations of donut. Yeah, the thing about the toroid. There is truth to that because our section, that is our section where we have our lands, it is a donut. But the donut is not isolated from the infinite plane. And our energy fields. No Raiden for me. I'm Mona pilled. Mona is also super cute. A lot of the Genshin Impact waifus, they are super, super cute. But the toroid, the donut, if you measure our energy fields, we are also it's like a donut-shaped field. Yeah. So there is no contradiction. Let's say that there are donuts spread all across the plane, our earthly plane. So those tectonic formations. They are certainly arranged like that. All these years I have watched you. I may not be able to replace you, but I will do my best.
Loath as I am to burden you with such responsibility, that is heartening.
This ain't the Benedict I know. Come on, where's your usual glower?
Huh.
You never change.
What happened with Benedict is that he lost his youthful spirit. Benedict and Erador should be about the same age. But just look at Benedict, he aged horribly. Like, both in spirit and in body. So he wasn't taking proper care of himself. I was saying, I forgot to say this. Somebody actually... you believe we are on an infinite plane? Yeah. Especially when you look at the moon and Mars. They are reflections, they are maps of our world. And they show so many places. The dome is... Apparently the dome is just one of many domes in science fiction. Like, you have various domes all over the plane. It's incredible, it's maddening to even consider that. But as I was saying, one person in Bark's channel, he told him, "But Bark, you are of inferior genetic quality because you are bald." And Bark said, "Oh, well, because..." And they told him, "You don't have protection when under the strong sun, and when you're in very cold places, your head is not properly protected, you're inferior." And he said, "Oh, that's moronic, I only need to wear a hat." But no, that is true. If you don't, the less that you need, the less the less that you need, the better. So if you don't need a hat because you have hair, that's an advantage. That you are of superior genetic quality. So yeah, so much bullshit on his part.
Huh. I should hope not. Defending House Wolford calls for consistency. And defend Wolford I shall, even in your absence.
I also consider it much better to have like a main, because if you know that style, I don't remember if it was from the Goths, you know, the Visigoths. They used to tie up their hair like this, like use like a bracelet, or how you call it, a ring, and they will have like a hair like that. So you can also make up a beard if you wish, and you can grow a beard as well if you want. So yes, it's definitely an advantage. Let your hair flow. It has many good properties. It's like batteries that recharge with the sun.
I shall hold you to it, both of you.
I'm telling you, we've got it under control.
Erador is like, aren't you listening to what we are saying?
Your voice hasn't gotten any quieter.
But your voice has, Benedict. Before you used to speak, you know, like energetic and all that, and now you're like, we must do the best for House Wolford.
Sorry. Parting ways with a friend always gets me worked up.
Thank you for seeing me off, you two. Farewell.
It's for the best.
What of the Byzantine forces?
They haven't entered the domain yet. If we act now, we could sneak around them and reach the capital.
Focused as they are on seizing the salt crystal deposits, I'd wager their domestic defenses are at a minimum.
If we can get into the capital and have the Roselle and the Source take up arms, we should stand a fair chance of helping them escape.
It's going to be a challenge, but we must do this.
But Hyzant is wary of Sereno for keeping the salt crystals from them, despite his position as one of the Saintly Seven. They may be short-handed, but if they spot him, we'll never make it inside.
We can use the consortium cart to slip unnoticed into the capital.
Ah.
The wagon from Claris? You sure we can trust the consortium?
If we pay them enough. No, but oh.
Yes. If only because this benefits both us and him.
I hope so.
In exchange, I told him what secrets we learned of Esfrost and Hyzant.
Oh, that's Sana. She's already doing much better work than Benedict.
You mean you told him of Dragan's murder and the illicit salt trade?
Yes.
I hope he understands those secrets must never leave his lips.
He understands. Once people learn of the salt crystals, Norzelia will change, and the Consortium will have a new role to serve. Now that they know, they will be better prepared to negotiate their position. They agreed to help us as a show of gratitude.
We still need to be on guard, because they could betray
Thought
us.
this through. Well done, Anna.
What of our things, Gila?
Stored safely within the cart, of course.
Things? What things?
The explosives we found in the tunnel.
Haha.
After we've gotten the Roselle to rise up, we'll set sail from the harbor and make for the Folk's domain, to the Great Falls.
That's my betrothed for you.
To make sure no one follows us, we'll blow up all the other ships in the harbor as we leave.
Frederica and I devised the plan ourselves.
A perfect way to make an escape with so many people.
Wise of you to make for the Falk's domain. It's distant enough. You'll have plenty of time to hide.
Aye, about as far south as you can get. No better place, if your end goal is Centralia, too.
It's a good plan. We shall do what we can to make sure it succeeds.
Crafty as ever, you Wolforts. I am glad to be on your side.
And I'm so glad Roland managed to get out of his folly. I was already preparing myself to fight Roland. But now we have him on our side, and he's one of our best units, so it's excellent.
But one problem remains. How do we get the Roselle and the Source to turn against their captors?
By telling them of the salt?
If we can't win their trust, all this is for naught.
We need some way of persuading them.
Salt crystal.
And quickly, too.
Let me worry about that. I can find the words to convince them.
I hope so.
I am my mother's daughter after all.
That is true.
All right. I know you'll figure something out, Frederica.
There is one more thing. Huette, I'll need to send a bird.
Of course, my lady. Where to?
The Rosellan village. I'd like to tell Jerome and the others of our plan.
Maybe Jerome will join us.
I would have them meet us at the Great Falls.
He was a really good fighter.
Agreeing to such a thing means they will have to give up the lives they enjoy now. Do you think they will come?
I cannot say.
Oh, they have to come.
I owe it to them to let them know Hyzant is invading.
Because otherwise they're going to be crushed.
Indeed. Let us send word and see what they have to say.
The alternative is get them getting enslaved again. That is no good.
Upon learning of the salt crystal deposits, Hyzant quickly musters her forces. They march upon the Wolfort domain, intent on seizing control of the mine. Serenoa decides to take this as an opportunity to free the Roselle enslaved at the source.
And it's a sound choice. They can't fight over just one mine of salt. Well, I will go look for Centralia. That is a land of infinite salt.
But that decision leads to Benedict's departure from House Wolfort. Still grappling with grief over parting ways with their friend, Serenoa and the others make for the Hyzantian capital. There, amidst a land in turmoil, they hope to help the Roselle rise up against their oppressors.
This is going to be tough. Well, this is going to be it for today when it comes to triangle strategy. I'll have to save the game. 7, lucky 7. In file 7. In about 15-20 minutes, I am going to be streaming Grand Blue Fantasy vs Rising. Just a few ranked matches. So, thank you, Nero, Mr. A, Snowy, thank you for coming. And thank you to everyone else. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. And remember, level up in game and level up in life. Once again, thank you all and see you later.